Hey Double D's, welcome to another movie review episode of Disney Dust. The BFG is the movie we're going to be looking at, and of course everybody's talking about Pete's Dragon right now because that was just released in the States, but we only just got it here in Singapore today, so I'm recording it just as I finished watching it. And of course we're going to start off with non-spoilers and then going into spoilers as usual. Well, what I think about it, I actually started out not liking it so much because I thought the pacing was slow, and for a kids movie I thought it could have been reduced, especially the first part, because it actually picked up and it was a lot better. The movie was actually about 2 hours long, so if you have a kid with you or a couple of kids with you, make sure they go to the restroom or the toilet before that. Speaking of toilet, there was actually quite a bit of toilet humor in this movie. It wasn't cheap, so that's good. The audience I was with, we all had such a great laugh. Great stuff. Very, very British sort of charming humor that reminded me of Paddington Bear, which I caught. That one, though, had better pacing, I felt. This could have been shortened just a little bit, especially the front part, because it was kind of draggy. It kind of dragged on a little bit, and there were not enough stakes. There were no stakes, almost. I didn't know what the stakes were early on, so I didn't feel compelled to stay on necessarily. It was just charming. It felt like just a little bit of a day off, and you know, it's just one of those movies you kind of follow along to see what's going to happen. You don't really have a bad guy that you're up against right off the bat. You don't really have anything urgent. So that kind of was, you know, something that could have been improved upon. But then we find out later that the bad giants are the ones that are kidnapping children from the orphanage or places at homes, and actually getting rid of them. But that violence wasn't shown, so that was good. But then again, it wasn't obvious enough, for me at least. It took a while to get there. What I feel about the acting, I thought the two leads, well, the girl and the giant was pretty amazing for a CGI character. Of course, they used motion capture, and that was done really well. The voice acting was superb. I just felt that the whole CGI world and the giant kind of clashed with the real girl when they put her into that environment, because especially the girl's acting. I mean, if I could act that well as a child, I'd be really, really happy, but I still felt, compared to something like Jungle Book, the actress wasn't as strong and as natural as the boy. A lot of what she was doing felt a little bit manufactured. It wasn't real enough. And because of the CGI in the real world, it needed a lot more connection. I felt like she was kind of playing it up a little bit too unnaturally, a little bit over the top. I think she improved a little bit when she started acting with human beings, which was when she started, when she went to the palace to meet the queen, and that part was like a whole different world almost, and it got so much funnier, but I felt like it was kind of disjointed that way. But I really enjoyed that part, though. I just felt like the movie picked up from there when she visited the Queen. Well, green screen acting isn't easy anyway, so kudos to Ruby Barnhill, who plays Sophie in the BFG. Also, just wanted to say the differences between the book and the movie, not too much. Surprisingly, though, the movie was darker. The giant actually had a backstory of having another human being before Sophie, who he lost to the other giants in a not so nice way. But in the book, Sophie was actually the first girl or human being that he actually started to talk to and interact with. Also, at the end, in the movie, we don't get to see Sophie and the giant meet ever again. There's no suggestion of that. But in the book, they actually kind of live together in the queen's sort of estate, and children visit the giant, and so they live kind of more happily ever after in the book. And to wrap things up, let's talk about what themes I gathered from the movie. Now, the big thing for me, I think, was bravery, about standing up, you know, against people who don't believe in you, or believing in yourself, basically. So bravery to do that, and not forgetting themes of friendship and dreams. Now, it'd be really interesting to see this as a musical, in fact, because there's so many good things you can do with the rhymes that Roald Dahl has brought to this story. They're just such an amazing vocabulary to this world. I thought it could be used very well with music and song and lyrics, you know? Let's see Lin-Manuel Miranda as well as Ellen Menken come on board. But anyhow, I was really excited to hear about the Little Mermaid live action, which is going to involve those two. And so I'll be excited to review that one too. But first, Beauty and the Beast coming up really soon. Catch you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about the channel. Bye!